to another House of Wisdom knife review. And today we're not going to review a specific knife, instead we're going to review a category of knives. And that category is knives with 3-inch blades and 4-inch handles. I often wonder myself, when a knife designer sits down in front of his CAD software on his computer, does he ever think to himself, where should I start today? How do I get started? And so he randomly types in round numbers. And so the CAD software asks him what size of blade he wants, and he puts in a 3. And what size of handle he wants, and he puts in a 4. And then he goes on from there. Well, what you have before you today, these knives all have something in common. And that something is they all have 3-inch blades and 4-inch handles with an overall knife length of 7 inches. We're going to explore this category of knife today. And we're starting, I placed these in alphabetical order just because, hey, it's the alphabet. I don't want to play favorites to anybody. But we're going to start out with a Todd Beggs Mini Bodega. This knife has extensive milling on it. As you can see, the shell or fish scale type scales. But then even on the step off, it has this fine linear milling. And you can see on the pivot collar, it has this V-shaped milling. Every square centimeter, every square millimeter of this knife face has milling on it. And some say that Todd Beggs makes Riot knives what it is today because he gave them this knife to make, showed them how to do it. And if you can manufacture this knife with its two-tone compound grind with a swedge and fuller with variable hole sizings in the fuller, and everything is milled on it, even the backspacer, look at the milling on that gold backspacer, and he's got the cracked ice style clip, and even the inside, see if you can get that, has a cracked ice finish in blue. If you can make this complexity of a knife, you can do anything, and so Riot Knives does. It's a 3-inch blade with a 4-inch handle. Next we have the Brous Bionic 2.0. This is an aluminum handled knife. I really like it. It's got this reptilian theme. The milling on the handle looks like a vertebra of an animal. And then on the blade it has this fuller, and it just really has that typical Todd Beggs great flipping action. It's a 3-inch blade with a 4-inch handle. The next is another Brous knife. This is called the Razorback. And it has this cool compound grind. This looks like Count Dracula's knife. It just looks like something from another world and another age. And it is a beautiful knife. It has a 3-inch blade and a 4-inch handle. The next knife is another Brous knife. This is called the Spectre. And I consider this knife to be simplicity at its best. It has one pivot and one standoff, and it is the simplest knife. It has this beautiful pivot collar that functions as an over-travel stop. It doesn't have a lock bar insert because it doesn't need it. The clip side of the knife is stainless steel. And look at the blade. It looks so simple and elegant. And distinctively, look how forward the flipper tab is from the center of the pivot. It has a great flipping action. This is simplicity at its best. The irony of this knife is I really like it, but it's been out for a year, and I am the only knife reviewer that's done an exclusive review on this knife. And it's the Rodney Dangerfields of knife, but it is a great simple knife with a 3-inch blade and a 4-inch handle. The next knife I have for you is the Hinder XM18 3-inch. This is in the slicer grind. There are very few knives that I own 2 of. The Hinder XM18 and 3-inch, I have 3 of them. I have the slicer grind, the Sponto grind, and the Tonto. This is just a great knife. It's one of the originals of the tactical knife genre. It has a 3-inch blade and a 4-inch handle. The next knife is a Kershaw Leek. If you wanted to get a Walmart knife, this is a great size and a great knife to get. Mine has a little bit of upgrade. It has an S30V steel rather than the inexpensive steels. But it has an assisted opening, and if you want to get a Walmart knife, get the Leek with a 3-inch blade and a 4-inch handle. The next knife is one of my most interesting knives because it's made by Gavin Hawk, who I'm a big fan of. Look how forward the flipper tab is, just like on the Spectre that Brous made. It has this Serge Pachenko cleaver-style blade. Millet Knives manufactures it. The Hawk lock is very complicated. It's like a the Benchmade's Axis lock, except you only have one button on one side. As I was talking in Blade Show last year to Serge Patenko, trying to get him to explain the Hawk lock, he said, I totally don't understand it. I can't even take it apart because it goes into a million pieces. And one time Epic Snowmonkey tried to dismantle the Hawk lock, and it went everywhere in a million pieces. So I don't mess with that, except that it's a really cool knife with a really interesting action, and it has a 3-inch blade and a 4-inch handle. Next on the list is the Olsen M9. Rod Olsen is from Canada, and this just has that beautiful drop shut that all the button locks have, and it is a 3-inch blade with a 4-inch handle. Okay, the Ontario Rat 2. This is my favorite sub $30 knife. It has a great action. It is the best action I have of any knife at any price that has a thumb deployer that's on deployment, that's on washers, and it costs less than $30. This is an AUS 8, but now they make it in D2 steel. Everyone needs to have one of these. It has a 3-inch blade with a 4-inch handle. And next is one of my fancy smanciest knives. This is made by Steve Skiff, the same guy that won the Tactical Knife of the Year award this past year. And this particular knife has a Timascus clip and Timascus pivot collar. The blade grind is nothing short of perfection on this. It has this orange peel finish on the handle. It's the Bandit. And to make this most perfect of knives, this high-end custom maker, he used a 3-inch blade and a 4-inch handle. And the last knife is the William Henry Westcliff B7 in carbon fiber. It has a button lock also, which just falls freely. And you know how I am about the lightest and best knives. This beautiful knife only weighs 1.2 ounces. They don't make it anymore, so you have to get it on the secondary market if you can find it at all. But it is a lovely knife with a Wharncliffe blade, and William Henry used a 3-inch blade with a 4-inch handle. Well, there you have it. We have a variety of knives, something for everybody. Shoulder to shoulder, we have nestled a low-end production knife, less than $30, and a high-end custom knife. If you don't have a knife with a 3-inch blade and a 4-inch handle, you might need to get one. And we'll see you on the next House of Wisdom Knife Review.